welcome back to class. Today we are going to discuss exercise 13.2. In this exercise, we have to draw graph for the given information. Chapter is Introduction to the Graph. Let us start. What is first question of exercise 13.2? Draw the graph for the following tables of values with suitable scale on the axis. We have to plot this information on the given graph. Let us see. Number of apples are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and cost of apple is 5, 10, 15, 20 and 25. These apples are in kg given, 1 kg, 2 kg, 3 kg. Let us see how we can plot this information on this graph. We need to choose one suitable scale. We need to choose one suitable scale on graph. Let us see. One thing you have to keep in mind, one is this is y-axis and this is x-axis. This is x-axis. Which one? There are two variables, these x and y. One is dependent variable and other is independent variable. This dependent variable we have to consider on y-axis and this independent variable we have to consider on x-axis. Let us see. This cost is depending on number of apples. 1 kg or 1 apple cost is 5. 2 apple cost is rupees 10 and 3 apple cost is rupees 15. So this cost is depending on number of apples. So these are independents. So independent event we have to consider on x-axis. I will write number of apples. Number of apples are varying on x-axis and this is cost will vary on y-axis. Let us choose a scale. Say this point is O, origin. Number of apples 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can consider this is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and up to so on. So till 5 we need. Cost 5, 10, 15, 20 and 25. So I can consider there 5 gap, this is 5, then 10, 15, then 20, then 25, then 30 in this way. Let us see. First of all, we want to define scale on y-axis and x-axis. On x-axis you will see this 1 unit is equals to 1 apple. 1 unit is equals to 1 apple. And on y-axis, this 1 unit is equals to 1 unit equals to rupees 5. This is cost in rupees. It is in rupees. So 1 unit is equals to rupees 5. This 1 unit, if you will see exact graph, then it will contain 10 fine lines in between. So means 10 divisions. 10 divisions will be rupees 5. So 1 division will be equals to 5 by 10, that is 0.5 rupees. So 1 division on y-axis will be 0.5. One fine line will be equals to 0.5 rupees. Now let us plot. Number of apples 1, 2, 3. 1 and corresponding cost is rupees 5. So this is apple, number of apples 1 and cost is 5. So you will get this point there. Number of apples are 2 and cost is 10. Then number of apples are 3 and cost is 15. Further, number of apples are 4 and corresponding cost is 20. Further, number of apples 5 and then corresponding cost is 25. So draw a line. Join this graph. Now you can join. This is graph for the given information. First of all, we need to check which one variable is, which one quantity out of these two is dependent and which one is independent. Which will be dependent quantity, that we have to consider on y-axis, and independent quantity we will consider on x-axis. After that, you will choose a suitable scale by observing your table. So what scale will be suitable for this given values? After that, you have to plot this point on your graph. Second part, what is second part? In second part, distance traveled by a car at 6 a.m. 40 kilometer, 7 a.m. 80 kilometer, and 8 a.m. 120 kilometer, and 9 a.m. is 160 kilometer. You will see this distance is depending upon this time. At 6 a.m. we are using that it traveled 40 kilometer. At 7 a.m. it traveled 80 kilometer. At 8 a.m. it traveled 120 kilometer. So this distance is depending on this time. So this is independent variable, and this will be dependent. This quantity is depending on this one. So on your graph, you will consider, say this is your graph. This is y-axis and this is x-axis. X-axis, and say this is origin O. Time you will consider on x-axis. Time is varying on x-axis and distance is varying on y-axis. This distance is in kilometer. Now let us plot this graph, and after this we will find out answer of these questions. Okay, time in hours given, time in hours. Time is 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is not given. It is given from 6, then 7, then 8, then 9, 10. Corresponding to this is given. So we will draw a kink in between. We are writing that between 0 to 1, then 2, then 3, and then 4, and then 5. These all time intervals are given on this x-axis, but we are not representing them. After that, I will write there 6 a.m. This is 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Time is in hour, a.m. This is in a.m. After that, distance is in kilometer. Let us check out distance, digit 40, 80, 120 and 60. So you can consider 20 table, 28 ja 126. So you can consider this is 20, then 40, then 60, then 80, 100, then it will be 120, and then it will be 160. Now let us define scale on both axes. On y-axis, what will be scale? This 1 unit, 0 to 20, this is 1 unit. 1 unit is equals to 20 kilometer. 1 unit is equals to 20 kilometer. And we know in this 1 unit, 10 small divisions are present. Check your graph carefully. Means 10 divisions are equals to 20 kilometer. So one division will be, one division is 20 by 10, that is 2 kilometer. One fine line, one division is denoting 2 kilometer. Now let us plot this graph, this information on this graph. At 6 a.m. distance traveled is 40 kilometer. This is 6 a.m. At the 6 a.m. distance traveled is 40 kilometer. Means this is that point where we have to locate. At 6 a.m. 40 kilometer distance is traveled. Now at 7 a.m. distance traveled is 80 kilometer. This is 7 and distance traveled is 80 kilometer. At 8 a.m. distance traveled is 120. this will be 120. 8 a.m. and corresponding, if you will see on y-axis distance, it is 120 kilometer. And at 9 a.m. distance travel is 160. This is 9 a.m. and this is distance is 160 kilometer. Let us join these points with the line. Join. Join. Now we have to answer the following questions. Graph we have plotted. What is first part? How much distance did the car cover during the period 7:30 to 8 a.m.? Between 7:30, exactly it will be in between, and if in between you will see there it will be it traveled between 7:30 to 8. Between 7:30 to 8. At 8 a.m. distance traveled is 180, 120, and at 7:30 distance will be 100 kilometer. It is 100 kilometer. So what is difference between this distance and this one distance? This distance and this one distance. This difference is, you will write distance traveled between 7:30 to 8 a.m. is 120 kilometer minus 100 kilometer, that is 20 kilometer. Maybe it can be up and down some values, because I'm not having that proper graph. Approximately idea I'm giving to you. So answer is 20 kilometer. But in this way you can find out at 7:30 you will check corresponding distance on y-axis, and at 8 a.m. we know distance travel is 120 kilometer. So you will find out difference between these two distances, and that will be 20 kilometer. What is second part? What was the time when the car had covered a distance of 100 kilometers since its start? As we have seen in first part, at 7:30 distance traveled is 100 kilometer. So its answer will be at 7:30 it will be 7:30 a.m. What will be answer? What was the time when car had covered a distance of 100 kilometer? Time was 7:30 a.m. This second part is completed. Next part. What is next part? Interest on deposit for a year. First question, third part, it is, does the graph passes through the origin? Let us check out. First of all, we need to check table, and we will find out which quantity is depending on which one and which one is independent. Let us draw. Consider this is y-axis and this is x-axis. Y-axis and this is x-axis, and this will be your origin. Oh, it is deposit, your amount and interest. This interest will depend on amount. What amount you deposited, you will get interest according to that amount. So this interest is depending on your amount, this deposition. So this is independent, and this interest is this deposition, so it will be dependent. It will be dependent. Now independent variable is on x-axis, means you have to write, okay, let us see another color which is visible. Their deposit, it is deposit, and see reading is deposition is 1000, 2000, 3000, 400, 4000 and 5000. So we need to choose a suitable scale. I will write there 1000, then 2000, then 3000, then 4000, and then 5000. This is in 1000, 1000, 2000, 3000, 4,000 and 5,000. Now simple interest, 80 rupees, 160, 240, 320 and 400. According to this, we have to choose scale on y-axis. Let us see what we can choose. If I will choose 20, this 1 unit is equals to 20 rupees. 20, then 40, then 80, or you can choose take a difference of 40, 40. All values we can represent properly now. So this is 40, this is 40, then 80, and then 120, 160, 200, then 240, and then 280, 320, 360, and then it will be 400. Let us define scale. Scale on y-axis. On y-axis, you will write 1 unit is equals to rupees 40. 1 unit is equals to rupees. This 1 unit from there to there, it is 40 rupees, equals to 40 rupees. And this 1 unit contain 10 divisions in between. So 10 divisions will be equals to rupees 40, and 1 division will be 1 division equals to rupees 40 by 10. That it will represents rupees 4. Now let us plot this graph. When your deposition is 1000 rupees, then interest is 40. This is that point when deposition is 1000 and corresponding to this interest is rupees 80. And when deposition is 2000, then it is 160. 160 will be at this point. Yes, and when deposition is 3000, then it is 240. Deposition is 3000, then it is 240. It is 200, then it will be 240 at this point. Further, 4000, then 320. This is 4000, and then it is 320 at this point. 400, 360, and it is for 320. This point will be there. Now join these points with the help of one line. Join. Now read out what is first part. Does the graph passes through the origin? Yes. If you will extend it, then it is passing through the origin. So first part answer will be yes. Graph passes through the, yes, graph passes through origin. Graph is passing through the origin. Second point, use the graph to find the interest on 2400 for this year. For a year, if your deposition is 2500, means in between of this one 2500, then corresponding to this we have to find out what will be the interest for 2500. You will choose a scale, means you will consider one scale and you will join this point there to there, and then corresponding you will see what will be the interest. So again I'm saying I'm using just approximate value like this, approximate these. Understand? This is 2500. So take a scale and draw a line where this line will intersect your given graph, your plotted graph. Then you have to check corresponding value on y-axis. You have to check corresponding value on y-axis. And when it is 2000, then it is 160, and corresponding to 2500, it will be in between 180. It is near about 180 rupees, 180. Next part is to get an interest of 280 rupees. To get an interest of 280 rupees, this is for 4,000, 360, 320, and this is for 280. Yes. To get an interest of 280 per year, how much money should be deposited? So check out this one value corresponding to what? It is 3,000. It is 3,000 in my graph, but if you will see corresponding to 3,000, it is 3,000 for, it will be 240, it is given to me, and 280, then it should be more than 3,000, means 400, 360, 320, then it is this in this way. There, yes, this is intersecting at this point. Let us see, differentiate it. This is 240 at this point, and now corresponding to this. It's near about 3,500. 3,500. 3,500. So this question is completed. You have to choose a scale properly according to your given value, and then plot these value on graph. First of all, you will find out which one variable, which one quantity you have to take on x-axis and y-axis. Then you will plot these points by taking a suitable scale on x-axis and y-axis. You have to mention what is varying on x-axis and what is varying on y-axis. On y-axis, we considered simple interest. Simple interest. These all things are necessary in a graph, and this definition of graph scale means in every graph you have to define scale. What is next question? Question number 2. Draw a graph for the following. For this information, we need to draw graph, and further we have to answer some question. One question is given: is it a linear graph? Just by drawing this graph, after that we can able to analyze whether the graph is linear or not linear. Linear means all points will lie in the same line. Then it will be linear. In a straight line they will lie. So let us see which one variable is dependent and which one is independent. Side of square is in centimeter and perimeter is in centimeter. This side of square and perimeter in centimeter. So side is 2, then perimeter will be 8. Perimeter is depending on number of depending on side of square. If side is 3 centimeter, then corresponding perimeter is 12 centimeter, and if side is 3.5, then perimeter is 14, and 5 is side of square is 5 centimeter, then corresponding perimeter is 20 centimeter. So I will take side on x-axis, side of square. Side of square on x-axis. This is x-axis. And perimeter on y-axis. Y-axis. On y-axis, perimeter is varying. Perimeter in centimeter. And this side is also in centimeter. Now we choose a scale on x-axis and y-axis. 2, 3, 3.5, 5, and 6. One difference we can consider. So we can start from 1. This is 1 centimeter, 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need up to 6. Perimeter in centimeter. Perimeter is 8, 12, 14, 20, and 24. So I can consider 4 table. For 4 difference we can consider. So this is 4. And if you will take difference between 2 consecutive unit less, then it will be more accurate. Graph will be more accurate. You can find out all values more accurately. 4, then it will be 8, then 12, 16, 20, and this is 28. Up to 24 we need. Side of square is, let us define scale at first. Scale on y-axis. At x-axis, you can see this 1 unit is equals to 1 centimeter. 1 unit is equals to 1 centimeter. And 10 divisions is equals to 1 centimeter, then 1 will represent 0.1 centimeter. And on y-axis, if you will see, this 1 unit is equals to 4 centimeter. It's 4 centimeter. 1 unit contain 10 divisions, then it will be 4 centimeter, and 1 division will be, 1 division is 4 by 10 centimeter, that is 0.4 centimeter. 0.4 centimeter. Now, let us draw this graph. When side of square is 2, its perimeter is 8. When side of square is 2, its perimeter is 8. So this point will lie at this place. Second, when side of square is 3, then perimeter is 12. Then this point will be at this point. Third, when side of square is 3.5, in between, exactly in between, then it is 14. 14 will be, it is between 3 and 4 exactly, and it will be in between of 12 and 16. Further, if it is 5, if it is 3.5 now, then while you will use proper graph, then you can find out exactly, you can locate this 3.5 and this 14 on your graph. You can find out easily because we know the value of 1 division. Now, next is side of square is 5, then perimeter is 20. This is perimeter and this one. When side of square is 6, then perimeter is 24. 6, and then it is 24 at this point. Now, draw a line passing through these points. Yes. All points are lying on the same line. All points are lying on the same line. You can put a scale and you can draw one line. You will see all points are in a line. All points are collinear points. So, is it a linear graph? Yes, it is a linear graph. Yes, it is a linear graph. Linear graph. So we have plotted graph for the given information. Now just one part of this second question left. I think you can do yourself this one part. Side of square is given to us and area. Side of square you will consider on x-axis and area you will consider on y-axis. Then you will choose a suitable scale according to this one value, and then you have to plot this point, and after that you have to verify whether these all points will lie in one line or not. Means you have to check whether the graph is linear or no. So this exercise is completed. Thanks for watching.